Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all again. Yeah, so today we're going to be just continuing on beefing up some of the larger cards in the game. Again, trying to solve the problem of the large cards not being super appealing options. So that's being fixed in a couple of ways. One is just giving them more powerful abilities, but the other way too is making them more appealing as alchemy cards by using the stability system, which I will explain again in just a second. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, sorry. Still trying to get over this flu, but it's all right. We're fine. So anyway, before we get into everything that we'll be doing today, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. It's the first link in the description below. I also updated the Steam page yesterday, so I updated all the screenshots. I also changed the wording, the store page copied down here, so check it out. Let me know what you think. I think it's a little bit better than it was before. I'm sure that this page will go through many other iterations as well. But yeah, and you could also support the game on Patreon. If you subscribe at this top tier here, I will send you a Steam key for the full game at launch. So you could just subscribe for 1 month. As long as you subscribe for at least 1 month, you'll get an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches. So it's a good way to pre-purchase the game and support me while I'm developing it. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. So check those out. Those are all linked below. And also the Discord is linked as well, so you can join that, hop in there, hang out with everyone, all that good stuff. All right, hello Clickertail, welcome back. You're home early from school today, very nice. Getting home early from school is always fun. I've been Pavloved to expect the ping at 14:48 my time. Very nice. What is this 14:48, this 24-hour clock? Me when the I. Hello, A the Ant. Welcome back. All right. So, yeah, yesterday we were working on creating more abilities for the larger cards. And I think we ended at the Plague Mask here. So let's create some new abilities for the Plague Mask to make it a little bit more appealing. And to explain the stability system that I was talking about before, so the large cards, in addition to having more abilities and more powerful abilities, they can also receive more abilities from the alchemy system before negative abilities get added. So the alchemy system will add negative abilities if you try to put too many abilities on a card. And so small cards have lower stabilities and large cards have larger stabilities. So if you try to put a bunch of abilities on a 1x1 card, you're also going to accrue a bunch of negative abilities in addition to that. But if you do alchemy on a large card, the large card can naturally support more abilities before negatives start being accrued. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. And so yeah, we're just going to continue on with this effort. The Plague Mask here is kind of underwhelming. So let's brainstorm some ideas for new abilities for the Plague Mask. So right now this randomly applies 3 poison or heals for 5. Randomly apply... I'm going to change this, actually. Wait, do I want to change this? I was thinking we could do something interesting like poison self, but then heal for every self-poison damage taken. I don't know how I would actually do that, though. Maybe that's not possible. But yeah, we wanna change the Plague Mask here. I do like the idea of the Plague Mask being a healing thing. Oh, you know what we could do? Oh, this would be interesting. Could make it scale off of reagents. So reagents, alchemical reagents, are cards like anything else. So if I did honey, if I did, excuse me, gosh. If I do honey here, so this is an alchemical, this is a reagent, I could make the Plague Mask scale off of reagents. So you could actually place reagents on the board. So reagents don't do anything, they don't have any combat abilities, but you can place them on the board. So I wonder if it would be interesting to make the Plague Mask scale off of like adjacent reagents. Kind of interesting. Anyway, any ideas? I has the ability to hear sound. Very nice. Hello, Courier Games. First time watching. Love your courses. Going through your networking one now. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you like them. And welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. Plague Mask lowers the effectiveness of enemy poison. It's a good idea, but the enemy doesn't apply poison basically ever. There are just some like thematic abilities that I don't give the player or the enemy. So for instance, the player has no way of applying holy, and the enemy has no way of applying poison, at least in the way that the game is built, because it's just kind of like thematically appropriate, I think. But it's time for Game Dev once again. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. Always good to see you. Hello, Neozoid. I want to know more about Delaunay triangles, if I'm spelling it right. Yeah, so a Delaunay triangulation is basically just an algorithm that takes a bunch of points and it makes it so that all of the points are triangulated such that none of the edges intersect. It's a very common thing. You could just look up Delaunay triangulation. I'll spell it. It's Delon. I think that's how it's spelled. So I just put it in the chat, but yeah, you don't really, I don't know how the algorithm works because there are libraries that do the triangulation for you. But it can be nice to take a bunch of nodes and be able to, or a bunch of points and be able to triangulate them. So again, the way that I'm using it for this game is all of these are points, basically. These nodes here, these are points in a map, or a cloud of points, I guess you could say. And if I want to connect roads to the points, I don't want any of my roads to intersect. So a Delaunay triangulation basically creates all the edges between these nodes in a way that prevents them from intersecting. So that's the main use of Delaunay triangulation, at least in this case. I'm sure there's other clever uses of it, but... Are you doing your own art for this game? I am, yes. All the art is done by me, by hand, and yeah, that's it. The only thing I didn't do is the color palette. I chose the color palette from low spec, so I didn't choose the I mean, I chose the colors, but I didn't like design the palette myself. But everything, yeah, all the art is hand drawn. Prefer salami triangles. How about the Plague Mask delays every poison attack, but then applies it after 2 turns, but way stronger? That could work. I'm trying to get my camera good. Was just messing around, but cool to know what it is. Oh yeah. Hello, Defected. good morning to you as well. Hello, Carto. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome back. Okay, anyway, Plague Mask. So, Plague Mask, poison stuff. What are we gonna do? Well, we could make, let's see. Trying to think of something clever here for the Plague Mask, what we could do with this. I do like the idea of the Plague Mask doing heal as well. Maybe I'm gonna try something interesting here. I do want to do like a heal. One per damage taken. So I kind of want to make it so that way this could work based off of self-poison. Target self. Huh. Yeah, that might work. Heals you for every debuff applied to you. That could work. That's impressive. I find you to be very inspiring, man. Game dev is a hard field and it seems you are successful. Thank you, I appreciate that. I would say that I'm not as successful as I would like to be, but you know, even with my modest successes, I think they're good. Yeah. We'll see. I've said this before, this game is going to be make or break. The success or non-success of this game is going to determine if I go back into the regular workforce. I will still do game development, probably, if I have to get another normal full-time job. But I will be able to work less on game development, obviously. So we'll see. Got a lot of changes coming up in the next year of my life, too, so we're going to have to... Gotta figure it out. We try not to think about things. We try not to think about things. If you don't think about anything, then there's nothing to think about. And you could put that on a t-shirt. Saw the trailer, looks awesome. How far are you into development? Yeah, so I'm about 9 months of development. I would say probably another 4 to 5 months until the game is finished. Like, we're relatively close to the game being finished. I'm trying to resolve some like final game design issues here. Just trying to make the game more engaging, add more replay value to the game. And then once that's all feeling good, it's just a matter of building out a bunch of content. I would say the last main thing that I have to do, or the last couple of main things that I need to do, is the meta progression system, which I haven't really thought about too much yet. And also, I want to add like multiple playable characters. So that's going to be the big things. And then, of course, resolving these final design issues. And then just, yeah, building out content. And then it should be good. I need to do controller support at some point, which is going to be an absolute nightmare. NVIDIA to cut gaming GPU production by 30 to 40% starting 2026. It's over, boys. It's been a good run. Yeah, I'm actually, I have an old GPU here, a 3070, so I might sell that when the prices go up. I'm gonna capitalize on that. Sorry, not sorry. The heal per debuff is a fun idea. Yeah, I was gonna do heal per poison. I kind of want to do... Maybe I can... Now I gotta decide which one I want to do. Because I kind of wanted to make it like a self-poison and then... heal per self-poison damage taken. How am I gonna track that though? Wait a minute. We'll figure it out. I kind of want to do that. They added AI generation to MS Paint. We can't escape the AI-ification of everything. I've been working on my Monster Tamer game for about 2 years. Started working on it after watching your Vampire Survivors course. Awesome. What's the central theme of the Monster Tamer game? Do you have like a special hook for it? Or a theme? Still need to finish the course I purchased, yeah. Hello, Sanzo. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you. Hello, Emerson. Always good to see you. Welcome. The enemies can't deal poison damage, then any poison damage takes would be from the player. Right. That's true. That's a good point. Hello, gamer SysBR. Good morning. You implement these cards by your mind, or you plan it before? Yeah, mostly this is just a crapshoot. I just kind of like sit here for a little bit and think, what would be a cool ability? And usually, like, sometimes that produces interesting results, but a lot of times I have to go back and refine abilities and tweak them or make them more interesting. So I think mostly, like, the way that I do things is I kind of just do it iteratively. I just get something working. I just say, hey, this ability sounds cool, and I throw it on the card, and then if I find that that card is not very appealing or not very strong, then I'll go in and tweak it. I do think I need to do a little bit more planning for the cards. I need to be a little bit more... Let's see, what's the word? I need to think about synergies a little bit more. I kind of wary of like designing specific synergies, because I really do want this to feel more like a sandbox where you can just like make stuff work with the tools that are available to you. But I do think that I need to put a little bit more effort into thinking of specific synergies. So yeah, I think I probably should do a little bit more planning, but I will do that later. The major hook of my game is that you will have one monster at a time. That monster has a life cycle and eventually dies until you get a new one. To be determined if I keep that mechanic. That sounds interesting, yeah. Actually use your upgrade loop from the Vampire Survivors course to allow the player to customize the monster each level. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds cool. FAI. I don't need Copilot on my notepad. Yeah, I'm assuming... I just read an article or saw a headline. I didn't read the article. I saw a headline the other day that like Microsoft Copilot, like the Windows version of Copilot, like almost no one uses it. Like, I think that, yeah, the weird thing about like AI so far is that it has it's like very useful in some specific contexts. Like I like Copilot in VS Code here. I like being able to just open up a chat window and like have it write code for me and like explain things. I like, you know, ChatGPT is like a quick research tool, or like a brainstorming tool. But like this AI is like a personal assistant that can just like do things for you and like streamline your life has not come to fruition like anywhere ever. So it's kind of weird. Everyone's trying to like find these like super killer use cases for AI, and it's like, I don't know. I don't think the best use cases for AI haven't changed in like 2 years now. So we'll see. I mean, I would expect the AI stuff to to crater, to become, what's the word? I think all this AI stuff, like the faddish elements of AI, are going to go away within the next year or two. So we just have to wait this period out. The AIification of everything will end soon, I believe. Hello, Monkey Software. talking about this Copilot, not the GitHub one. Yeah. Have to use AI for some of the harder maths. Yeah, AI as a tutor is really good. Like when AI can explain to you how an algorithm works or how a mathematical concept works, that's a very, very good use case for it. ChatGPT when I have art block. Yeah, I've used ChatGPT to generate like quote unquote concept art if I'm trying to figure out like what I want to draw in Alchemortis. So I will be like, hey, generate a pixel art image of whatever. And sometimes that's helpful. Sometimes it gives me an idea for something I want to draw, and other times it's not helpful, but it's a good as like a brainstorming tool. Good morning, Chris. Welcome. I base the game heavily off Digimon World 1, so the idea is that certain times you beat another monster, they join your city. Oh, awesome. Seems like every CEO likes it, yeah. I work in AI, do you? How's that going? Is it going well or no? Yeah, I think that's right. Hey, the ant. Algebra, I'm fine with. Geometry, my brain falls apart. GPT helps me with those calculations, yeah. Yeah, brainstorming. Yeah, that's a good use case. Problem with AI as a teacher is it's confident even when it doesn't know something. Yeah, the hallucinations are a problem too. It sucks. All right, let's try to do this. Var. Okay. So we've got the damage taken provider. Var heal is equal to new dynamic magnitude ability, damage taken provider, new heal. I do need a value scaler. Let's do base multiplier. Okay. So we needed to put the damage taken provider in there and then also the heal. Scaling func, heal scalar, value scalar dot set multiplier, heal scalar. Cannot convert from float to int. Okay. I think that's it. Heal, value scalar dot get multiplier per poison damage taken. I don't like this ability here. I'm going to change this ability. Actually, let's get rid of this. var poison. Ability builder dot poison 5. Var self poison. Let's try that. So this will basically negate, at level 1 or tier 1, it will negate any poison damage taken, but then if you upgrade this card, it will actually heal more than the poison damage taken. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. Everyone and their grandma thinks they're an AI expert and that I'm a magic wizard, man. AI is basically the evolution of the search engine right now. It's okay at cutting through a lot of noise for you. Yeah, I agree. I think that's right. Yeah, right. That's true. Generative AI crap has been out for like 4 years at this point, and people still act like it's a revolutionary idea. Google has intentionally... Hold on a second. Oh man, I'm ready to stop being sick any day now. Google has intentionally made their search worse for AI though, similar to the tools like Stack Overflow that were really great resources but are now absolutely awful. Yeah, Google search is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The amount of times where I go to search something and I can't find what I'm looking for is like ridiculous. My dude is kind enough to hide his sniffles. Yeah, I don't think you guys want to hear me blowing my nose or see me blowing my nose. Trying to make it a good experience for the viewer. I don't think you want to hear a sick person hacking up a bunch of grossness. Let me do something. Scripting utils. I think I can do this. Had a guy tell me he made 4 AI songs he was super proud of, and as a musician I just had to respectfully say I didn't respect it. Told him I understood but can't respect it. Yeah. The thing that it's weird like with music, because it's like a lot of modern music is like heavily digitized anyway. Like, you know, pop songs are, first of all, they're all basically electronic instruments, so no one's actually playing the instruments anyway. And then they do like the quantization or whatever it's called, where they, you know, make every beat absolutely perfect, and then they apply, you know, vocal corrections to the vocalist to make them pitch perfect. It's like, at what point are you not really making music anyway in the modern world, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. New Patreon tier, sick tier. I don't want to make this stream R-rated. Not even saying don't make it, just don't be proud of it. Hello, Pocket Pixie. I purchased your course. It was good. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Man, the art is so good, though. I can't stop staring. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that, Blair William. Thanks for making Godot more understandable. Card idea, virus bacteria. Interesting. Kind of wish you would create a lighter game, though, like something without dark colors in it. Well, I can't do that now, but maybe for the next game. Yeah, but generative AI music is reproducing old ideas from stolen art. That is true. Feeling proud of AI-generated images or music is wild to me, but I've been making stuff from scratch since I was 8, so maybe just an old man yelling at clouds, what do I know? Yeah. Digital music production tools wielded by humans are still capable of being used for new creations. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Kyle Game Dev. Big fan of your videos. They've been super helpful. Curious, is your map all procedurally generated? It is, yes. It is. Actually, I think I went over a little bit of it on the latest Alchemortis dev vlog, so you could check out that video if you're interested in how the procedural generation for the map works. I really like a purple color scheme, using something similar. Yeah, I like the color scheme here. All right, let's see if this works. I have a question. What do you do when you get code block? I've been struggling to make progress recently because the things I have to do are really complicated and I'm feeling discouraged. Yeah, I mean, if it's just the fact that it's complicated, that it's like an overwhelming amount of work, or you just don't know where to start, the way to get around that is just to start, just to get something working, even if it's not ideal. I think a lot of code block is like a paralysis of feeling like you don't know how to implement it the quote-unquote correct way. And the way to get around that is just to implement something, just to make something work first, without worrying too much about whether it's the correct way to do it, and then sort of let your progress inform how you refine and refactor the code. But yeah, I think the main thing is just you got to just get something working. This is also broken, I think. I won't knock you for using AI music as long as you don't flaunt it as if it's the main piece. Yeah. Finally putting a depth controller in my game. Glad I didn't do it earlier, but absolutely necessary now. A depth controller, what is that? Oh, Z sorting, gotcha. Gotcha. So player board 5, 4, 3. So that should be 12. Should heal 12. Wait a minute. Now I'm thinking this might be wrong. Get previous turn execution. Oh, I might need to think about this some more, I think. Let's undo this. Shoot. Made a change here, but this might not be appropriate now. Ability type tracker provider. Shoot, I think I might have a problem here. Ugh. Will this be a problem? Oh, I'm trying to think. What? I don't even know if I can explain the problem properly. All right, let me write this down. I'm gonna have to think about this later. Don't know. So basically, I don't even know if it's worth explaining this. There's a problem in here with the ability tracking provider. Yeah, I can't really think about this clearly right now. I'm gonna have to revisit that later. Basically, there's kind of a a question of how I want to track this based on the ability execution order. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really get into it. Can't really explain it right now. Okay, well, we'll just leave it alone for now, I suppose. Basically, the problem is, so if I'm tracking an ability, execution, so like I'm listening for all the poison that's executed, the problem that exists right now is that, for example, any poison ability that's executed in the same turn index as the card that's listening for the poison, that poison tracking could potentially be missed, I think. Yeah, so I don't know if it's worth explaining this. I'm going to try to explain it. But I got to catch up on this chat. Let's see. I'm not going to read every chat here. Recently upgraded to the version of Godot with the new tile map layers. That was an interesting upgrade. Yeah, tile map layers are interesting. They're a little bit confusing, but... parts that are sins against God. Why did I ping myself? Let's see. I feel like there's a constant battle in my head between abstraction and just doing. Yeah, my opinion is that the abstraction should come after you just do it. Because sometimes it's hard to understand what needs you have in terms of abstraction until you actually like implement something. So I think the way to do it is to sort of invert the process. Like you get something working and then you let the needs of your working implementation inform what abstractions you need. It's easier to come up with abstractions from the get-go if you have more experience and you know exactly what you need to build, but sometimes you don't really know what you need to build, so... yeah, come back with a clearer mind. What about a game about scope creep? We were mostly talking to each other while you debug, yeah. Sequel to the movie Rear Window scope creep. Do you keep design docs or anything like that? No, not really. I don't really like game design documents that much. So the ability tracking, I want to see if I can explain this. I don't know if it's worth doing this, but it'll help me think about it at least. How do I change the brush size? Is this it here? Okay, so let's say that each of these dots is an ability. Each of these green dots is a poison ability that I want to track. So let's say each column is a turn index. So let's do this. This is turn index 0, 1, 2, 3. And on turn 0, I have a couple of poison abilities. On turn 1, I've got a couple of poison abilities. But then let's say on turn 2, I've got a poison ability here, but then the card that's listening for poison abilities, we'll use red, executes there. And then I have another poison ability, or another 2 poison abilities here. And then let's just do a poison ability there. So the problem is basically what needs to happen is when this card executes, it needs to have basically the data about all of these poison executions here. But then the next time that this card executes, which is going to be over here somewhere, right? It needs to grab these and then any other poison abilities here. So the problem, I think, with my current implementation is that I don't really have a way of granularly splitting the turn. Basically, everything happens on this second turn index, and so the way my system works now is that I only have the option of like, the way it works now is I can grab all of these, and I know about all of those executions. The problem is, when I execute next time, how do I grab all of these poison abilities from this turn index here without also including this one? So that's the problem. The problem is, the next time that this one executes, this red one here, which would be over here somewhere, I need to go back in the history and record these ones or get records for these ones, but exclude this one here, because that would have already been accounted for when it executes on turn 2. So I think what I need to do is my ability tracking system needs to somehow know, like, I almost need like a sub index, right? So this is the overall turn index. These are the overall, like, the history of that entire turn. But I need to be more granular and know when this card executed in terms of the order here. And I need to be able to split this second turn up. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that states the issue clearly, but I think right now yeah, as of right now, it will miss these 2 executions. That's the main problem. So yeah, I need to figure that out, but that's not something I can figure out or do right now. I feel like I started my game and never designed it up front, which has led to building the ship while flying. Yeah, that's true. Light mode jump scare. It's nice in some ways, but I feel like it leads to inconsistencies, the lack of a clear vision. Yeah, that can be a problem for sure. Yeah. Ask Copilot to draw it for me. Unbelievable that there's actually a Copilot button there, yeah. The designer of Blueprints only kept his design doc for a short while before the scope got too big, then he just kept everything in his head until it was done, which is wild considering the game. Is each green dot a separate type of poison ability? Poison is poison, there's no separate types of poison. Do you create a list or an array or drop them in and out somehow? Yeah, I have a turn history that records all that stuff. Hello, Mabs Games, welcome. Anyway, let's just move on. I don't know if my explanation was clear, but we updated the plague mask. That's the most important thing. Okay, what is the next one we need to update? A scythe. I wonder if the scythe could be made a little bit better. I think the scythe is kind of weak. All this does is apply bleed. Maybe we'll just ability builder dot damage 6. We'll give it some damage as well. Okay. Skeleton dragon, that's the one I just did, so we'll leave that alone for now. The slime, I think the slime needs some new abilities as well. Let's see, what can we do with the slime? Hello, Nick. Welcome back. Good to see you. You sound better than Monday. Hope you feel better too. Yeah, I'm feeling gradually better. Still a little bit of lingering problems, but definitely feeling better than Monday. Finally. But yeah, good to see you. Welcome back. Hello, Ninja Link. Welcome. Good morning to you as well. Deal 4 damage for each time damage was taken since last execution. You know, the slime would be a good opportunity to... Trying to think. I would love to introduce the ability of having like temporary cards, because I'm thinking the slime, it would be interesting if the slime could like split and create like little 1x1 blobules if there's space around it. That would be a little bit tricky to do though. That would be really cool though. So like imagine you've got like empty spaces around the slime here. Imagine if like when the slime takes damage, it spawns a little blob in an empty space next to it. That could be really cool. I think that would be technically doable. I'm just trying to decide if I want to put the effort into doing that or not. I also don't know if that's going to work. I have some temporary cards that will disappear when combat ends. That would be really cool. The player could use some cards like the archer and whatnot from the enemy cards. Yeah. I know we moved on, but just thought if you had a variable that records when the last poison was recorded, would it be easier to know when to pick it back up? I think I have all the information I need to record the information I need. It's just a matter of like... What is it a matter of? Yeah, I don't know actually. Because it's like a sub-array, so like each turn... So there's like the turn indexes, right? But then each turn history has like a whole list of abilities that were executed, as well as cards that were executed. I actually don't know. Turn history entry. So I have this card abilities executed entry, which tells me which card it came from, etc. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have enough information to do it. It's just I gotta think about it very carefully, that's all. Exhausted. We need to utilize empty spaces more often. Yeah, I agree. My brain is cranking. I'll turn it off. No, I appreciate it. It's just... I think I have the information I need. I just need to figure out how to wrangle it the proper way. How difficult would it be to add temporary cards? Do I want to do that right now? That might be too much effort for now. Okay, so anyway, let's think of some different abilities for the slime. So the slime, deal 4 damage for each time damage was taken since last execution. So what else should we add? What other abilities should we add to the slime? Send your ideas in the chat now. And while you send your ideas in, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, get a refill on my drink and all that stuff. And when I come back, we'll figure out what to add to this guy. So I will be right back in just 3 minutes. All right, I'm back. Each time poison or fire was taken last turn randomly increases the crit chance of crit damage. Slime should always have a slime ability, perhaps something that slows. Chance to remove enemy preserve. I kind of like that. The chance to remove enemy preserve. Yeah, I think we could do that, like an acid. Each card that dealt physical damage is slowed by X turns. We could do that. Let me think. I mean, I have a paralysis, which is like a slow. I think I would have to do that. Let me think. Should we do that? Let's try it. Let's try it. New composed ability. So I actually don't know how I'm going to do this. Damage taken provider. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Let's do this. Public list base card, get distinct cards that dealt damage, damage type, damage dealt entries, where entry type equals type, select distinct. That should work. Get distinct cards that dealt damage. Cool. So damage dealt entries, where entry to board equals to board, entry type equals type. Select entry by card, distinct. Where card is not equal to null. Okay. Damage taken provider. So I think what I want to do is maybe I'll just add another property on here. Private list base card. Damaging cards is equal to that. Say private. No, not read only. Okay, so then we could do damaging cards. Actually, damaging cards is equal to history entries. Select many. Entry. Distinct cards that dealt damage. Execution context.sourceboard damage type. Dot distinct. What the heck is happening? I think that'll work. So we assign the damaging cards. So this will be history entries, select many, get distinct cards that dealt damage. That should work. And then we can do public list base card, get damaging cards. Now, how do I actually use this? That's the thing. I need a buff applicator. I need a query target provider. How am I going to do this? Do I dare make this a target provider? Target provider? I don't know how to do this. Do I do this? Base card, get cached targets? Do I dare do that? And then the buff applicator, I can change this to iTarget provider. Will that work? Because then what I can do is in the damage taken provider here, I can make that implement the interface here. iTarget provider, and then I can do this. I don't know if that's good though, but the nice thing is what I could do I could take this damage taken provider now, basically just copy this down here, then I can pass the damage taken provider into here. We need a buff factory, new paralysis debuff. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if it does. Ability builder. So we got the damage taker provider. We do the buff applicator. Let's ignore the scaling function for now. Paralyze each opponent card that dealt damage for 2 turns. Something like that. Paralyze damagers. I don't know. Let's see if it works. And then we can figure out the scaling, I guess. I was thinking of that one card that resets the enemy cooldowns by X turns. Oh yeah, that could work too. Miss debuff. I actually don't know if this is a good idea, the way that I implemented this. Wish I could read the code, but does it work? Yeah, I don't know. I might have to change this up. We have an iTarget provider. Let's do... I don't know if this is a good idea. iTarget provider. iCached target provider. Maybe I'll just do that. I can get rid of this now. That might work better, actually. Okay. Excuse me. Maybe that'll work. Can I build this? All right, there, Oppenheimer. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it's okay. Oh, the query target provider. This needs to be... So we've got guest cache targets. We're going to do I target cache provider. There we go. That should work. Okay. Abstraction. Just came in and heard Miss D debuff and thought, oh cool, might that be? Jokes don't land in a context time-lapse. He said, I don't know if I should do this. Oh, gotcha. I am become death destroyer of code. Well, let's see if this works. Dealt damage. Okay, let's see what happens. Project board looks so busy. Seems like a lot still needs to be done. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done. So it should paralyze the chicken. It did paralyze the chicken. Very nice. Cool. Okay, let's get the scaling done then. How am I actually going to do that? I guess I just recreate the buff applicator. Oh no, that's not going to work. How am I going to change this duration? Oh wait, I could just do this. Let's do one to, oh, let's do two to start, I guess. So we do paralysis duration, and then I can say make additive scalar 1. Paralysis duration is equal to paralysis duration tier. And then we could do paralysis duration here. So this is probably the reason why I have a factory here, which is a function that returns a new instance instead of just doing this, because now what I can do is in the scaling function, I can change the paralysis duration. And so this will be invoked every time the paralysis debuff is needed, which means that it's always going to be updated with the newest paralysis duration. So this should now increase in duration by 1 for every additional tier. So I think that works. I think that works. Seems to be working. I'll just go ahead and hit this upgrade too, real quick. Assuming I win. I did not win. I gotta figure out the resurrection mechanic too. The two events that I want to rework a little bit are the resurrection event and also the boosters. I'm still not super happy with how the boosters are working. I gotta figure out a way to make the boosters more interesting. Cool. Alright then, I think we're good. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Let me just make sure I didn't do anything super dumb here. Cool. All right, update slime. How'd you make those globes in the center of the screen shaders, I assume? Yeah. So let me see if I could do it real quick. Health globe. So yeah, the health globe here. So basically there's just a combination of a bunch of masks and stuff. If I do disabled here. So this is a mask and it's basically just a shape that is the inner part of the globe here. And these textures here, these are just scrolling textures with a shader. So it's just UV scrolling them. There's one in the back and one in the front. This is situated on top of the texture progress bar here, which is just a standard texture. It fills up based on the health percentage. And then basically what I do is I take these swirls here. See how there's a position here? I take this and I modify the position based on how full the bar is. So it always sits on top of the texture. And then of course the mask is set to clip only. And so basically you've got the texture progress bar, which is providing a texture for however full the globe is. And then these swirls are moved to always set or sit on top of that progress bar. And that's it. It's relatively simple, but it works like a charm. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. Project complete, ship it, yeah. Okay. Snail Cat. Let's take a look at Snail Cat. Very unique and I dig it. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah. What do I want to do with Snail Cat? Game development is all smoke and mirrors. Yes, it is. Yeah. Snail Cat, one of the very few cards I couldn't get to work during play. Yeah, I think... Wondering if I should just completely rework Snail Cat. I think the ability is interesting, but it's not very useful. Maybe I'll just change it. I don't know if it needs to exhaust the alchemical cards. Let's change this. We're not going to exhaust anymore. Get rid of the conditional exhaust. Get rid of this execution count provider. New status applicator. Get rid of this buff applicator. Let's do this. Increases enemy current status stacks by multiplier for each allied alchemical card. Okay. Snailcat is slow but ferocious, yeah. Excuse me. Hello, Ollie. Could you just have it reset the cooldown to 0 instead? That would at least make it semi-viable. I could. I'm just going to get rid of the negative entirely. So increases enemies' current status stack. Stacks by 1 for each allied alchemical card. So I think that's better already, but let's see if we can add another ability to it as well. Snailcat zoomies look like. Snailcat zoomies. Snailcat slowies more like. Shoot. What am I doing? So yeah, we need another ability for the snail cat. We don't yet have a player card that scales based on empty slots, I don't think. Let's do something a little bit interesting. Snailcat, I want Snailcat to be like a very, very niche kind of thing. Just because it feels like it should be a very niche thing. I'm thinking maybe I might do something like turn cooldown is reduced by 5 if on the left edge of the board. Something like that, like just something really niche, like have this weird requirement, but also that's kind of like a powerful alchemical ability, so you could like extract that snail cat ability and put it on something. Let's try it. Var composed is equal to new composed ability. Oh, this is gonna have to be this has to be a non-combat ability, I think. Yeah, I think I can do this. Let me copy this. Copy the friar. Turn cooldown reduction. Left edge. Left edge. Query options dot is self only? Oh no. How do I make this work? Query target provide. I don't know how to make this work so that I can detect if myself is on the left edge of the board. Do I need to do a custom filter in here? Will that work? Value provider condition count is equal to 1 when false, or when true, let's do 5. When false, 0. Conditional value provider. I have actually no clue if this is going to work. Or cooldown reduction is equal to 4. Let's pass this in here. Bar scalar, make additive scalar, cooldown reduction there. Turn cooldown is reduced by cooldown reduction for each is on the left edge of the board. Let's see if that works. I don't know. Turn cooldown reduction. Kind of an interesting ability, but let's see. Cats make you bleed? Yeah. Gain thorns for each enemy alchemical card. We're inventing systems for Snail Cat, yeah. Proceed to expand on it for other cards. It's not really inventing a system, I'm just trying to use what I have. I think I did. Let's see. Turn cooldown is reduced by 4 if this card is on the left edge of the board. Well, I think this is already not working. I mean, let's make it a little bit more dramatic to see if it works. It's not updating the tooltip, which is a little bit interesting. Oh, it's increasing the turn cooldown. Oh, so it's 21 now. Oh, so it is working. Wait a minute. Oh, I never implemented the left edge here. That would help. Self current turn cooldown modification. So this actually needs to be -10, -1. Okay, so I actually need to update my query stuff here. Left edge cells get cells in column. Vector 2, 0, 0. Standalone cells union with left edge cells except occupied cells. I think that's right. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. How does this work? Well, I'm just going to assume that that's going to work. Let's see. Why are there locks on your main menu? Oh, this? Those are, you can lock the position of various things so that it can't be moved in the editor. So see, I can't move this because it's locked. It's just because I've positioned those things specifically and I don't want to accidentally move them. That's all. How's this work, brother? I'm looking at my code saying the same thing. Yeah. I just have to kind of trust that the system that I've put in place works. Okay, this is not working. This does not work. I wonder if this includes self is not working properly. Yeah, it's always adding that. Shoot. So yeah, this includes self is not going to work. Includes self. Where is this used? Mace. I need to change this as well. Okay. Shoot, we're gonna have to figure this out. If card is equal to 4 card and or is cell empty. Okay, so this is just continuing. Let's rework this a little bit. Or card is for card and query options. Allow self query. I don't know if that's this is going to get a little bit confusing. That's okay. Include self versus allow self query is going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to rename that actually. Instead of include self, I'm going to rename this to add self to query result. That's a little bit more descriptive. Because this, if this is set to true, then it just always gets added to the result of the query. But allow self query is more so I can define the query rules, and if itself matches the query rules, then I'll add it to the result. So they're two slightly different things. One always adds the self to the query result, and the other one will only add the self to the query result if it matches the query filters that I've set aside. I think that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Nobody ever said Snail Cat was going to be easy. Excuse me. Gosh, I wish I could stop coughing. Okay, this is not working either. What in the heck, man? If not, query empty cells, or card equals for card and query options allow self query. Oh, that's not right either. Actually, you know what I might do? I don't think that's right. Oh wait, no it is. So I'm querying the affected cells, so I'm getting a list of all the cells that are affected by the query options. And then for each of the affected cells, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the card that exists at the cell. Oh, this result is already a hash set, so I actually don't need to do this. And so basically I'm iterating over all of the cells that are affected by the query definition. And if the card exists at that cell, then I add it to the result list. But then there's a bunch of extra filters that happen here. Do I have any filters in place that are... maybe messing with this a little bit? Do I need this custom filter anymore? I don't think I need the custom filter. Maybe that's the problem. Let's take a look. Let's see what happens. It's not working. Let me just go into a combat and see if it actually is working. Maybe the tooltip is just not updating, but I don't think so. It's always querying itself. I don't understand that. Yeah, it's definitely not working. Oh. It looks like the card... Oh man, what is going on here? Looks like the card's occupied cells are being excluded from this list here. What happens if I get rid of this? Something's not right. Something's not right. Why is it... I don't know. I don't know why this isn't working. I don't even know how to begin to figure out why this isn't working. Oh, we got some errors here. Oh, that's not relevant. I think it's probably because of this line here, this occupied cells, result except with occupied cells. This is 4 card occupied cells. Let's do accepted cells here. var 4 card occupied cells is equal to query options dot allow self query. I'm gonna do this. Otherwise, get occupied cells 4 card. Oh, get card occupied cells. What is this? I don't know what this shadow position is. What is this? Am I even using that anywhere? Oh, in here. Enemy board placeable card IDs. Okay, I think I could fix this. Let's see. Whatever, let's just see if that works. Man, this is interesting. It works though, look at that. Now I don't know why it's highlighting itself always. Oh, maybe I do. Okay, well, that was quite an ordeal, but... Anyway, I think it's working now. It's a little bit weird that it's highlighting itself, but I don't know how to fix that. Anyway, so you can see that it's got 11 turn cooldown here, but if it's on the left edge of the board, then it will reduce the turn cooldown by 4. Oh, and now all of a sudden it doesn't work here. What? Why is it not working on this board now? That's unfortunate. Oh, goodness. I almost did it. I don't know why it's not working now here. That's a little bit unfortunate. Why is it not working on this all of a sudden? Yeah, I don't know. That's very weird. It works in the inventory, it doesn't work in the combat board. I actually wonder... Let me just try one more thing here. I don't know if I need this anymore. I would love to see the more of the edge board abilities that alter the stats. That would make the puzzle aspect of the game so much more interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I definitely want to do that. Why is it not working in this board, though? I don't understand that. Just make sure it's not doing something weird like requiring it to be in the top left. Oh, it is required. Wait, now it works. Oh, I wonder if the locked... Okay, something about the locked nature of the board is breaking it. Left edge, let's see. Oh. This while loop is probably the problem here. Yeah, this is not going to work. Let's do something else then. If unlocked cells contains cell to check. I think this is what I need to do. Then we need to make the same change here, I think. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm editing a lot of the internals of the query system here, so I hope I don't inadvertently break anything. There we go, now it works. Okay. All right. Cool. That works. Okay. All right. I think this is all good. There we go. All right. Finally done. Goodness gracious. Whew. All right, well, that is a good place to stop for the stream for today. That was quite a doozy, but we got it. So I definitely want to do more interesting abilities like that where the positioning changes how the card functions. But yeah, if you're interested, check out Alchemortis, wishlisted on Steam. I would very much appreciate that. Got to get some more wish lists, so every wish list helps. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. Check out the links in the description below for all the ways you could support me. You could join the Discord if you're interested. That's also linked below. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead and eat some lunch and take it easy this afternoon because I'm still sick, still trying to get over this. But yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate the support. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern in the next Alchemortis stream. Okay, bye-bye everyone.